Hello everyone, this is Xephyr here, and welcome back to Monster Hunter World Iceborne on PC. Today we are going to be doing the second part of our Sizzling Spice Fest coverage. So you will see that I am wearing the Passion armor set, but in actuality I am actually wearing my usual mix of Safi Jiva and Alatreon armor, but I did spend 5 VIP Sizzling Spice tickets to get the layered version of the Passion armor set, so that we could stay in, but still have all of our usual beneficial skills for hunting. Every time we get a new layered armor, it just makes me more and more happy, because it's nice to be able to look however we want to look, whenever we want to look it, without having to mess with our skills too much. We can keep using whatever armor we actually want to use, but we can adjust our appearance. So that's nice. So we already, oops, that's the wrong button. We already kind of showed off what it looks like, but again, I'll just kind of pan around. This is the Passion armor set for the male hunter. The female hunters is quite a bit different. It's pretty close to what the handler has, but still even further different than that, because I know a lot of people are using the layered armor since the body piece for the females has wings. And I guess a lot of people are really enjoying that feature. Go ahead and eat our sizzling platter here. I really think that's supposed to be Puke's scream. That's kind of hilarious. Or roar, I guess. You'll also notice that I've put Shadow in the Sizzling Spice Fest Palico armor, so Shadow will be looking like a jester Puke with his little Puke horn. So that should be a lot of fun, and it should all work out fine, because the quests that we're going to be taking on, or at least 2 of the potential 3 for this video, I'm not going to say they're not going to be difficult, but it's not like we're fighting arc-tempered monsters or anything. So, and I mean, your Palico can wear whatever you want your Palico to wear. Their armor doesn't really change much about the hunt anyway. And like I said, we're wearing our usual armor. We just have the nice Passion layered over it. Let's see. So, the first one that we're going to take on, I know we looked at all of these, so I don't have to worry too much about spoiling anything. Okay, so it's Seeing is Believing. So this is against a Tigrex in the arena. And the client is the Meowscular Chef. I didn't notice that before, I don't believe. Yo, Scrawny. This hungover hunter came by saying he's seeing things in the arena. He was so shook up about it that it's made him quit drinking. Go check it out for him, will ya? Special material rewards. So we'll go ahead and use a lucky voucher, because why not? So depending on how quickly we beat the first 2 quests, we may do a 3rd one. I'm kind of hoping that we can, because the 4th quest, which will be the part 3 video, could potentially take a bit of time. And so I'd rather only have to do 1 hunt for that video. Oh right, I have a full inventory. I've been playing on a secondary character. I'm actually, since my main is a male, I'm actually bringing a female hunter up, because I want to be able to see all the armor sets and stuff, and that's how much I like this game, is I literally was willing to play through the entire thing again. But that character doesn't have nearly as many supplies, because I've been kind of, I wouldn't say rushing, but I mean it's kind of rushing through the game. It didn't have, that character hasn't had months of time between World and Iceborne to build supplies. This is a giant Tigrex. I'm guessing this will be a gold crown for sure. But yeah, so I keep forgetting that my main hunter, his supplies take up his entire item bag, because my female one doesn't come even close. This is cool. This thing's gigantic. Now I understand what he meant by the guy was saying that he was seeing things. He was probably talking about how gigantic this Tigrex was, and everyone thought he was just drunk and having issues seeing because of drunkenness, but no, this is a pretty big Tigrex. Oh god. Memories of a Cantor and Ukanlos come to mind. Ugh. Ooh. Oh crap, I should not. Okay, good, he did that. Man, he just takes up so much of the screen. Oh, jeez. He led the shot there. Wow, tail's off already, so that's good. Ah, I was late on the foresight. He just takes up so much of the screen. Dodging is tough. Okay. Going well enough though, even without, or even with dealing with its gigantic size. Oof. Oh crap! Yeah, there was no way I was getting out of range of that. Oh! Heal a bit. Oh, that covers so much ground. Jeez. Okay, I was really worried for a moment there that it wasn't going to hit the wall, but we got it. Just go after the wing, because I don't want to waste time just trying to get to the face and miss out on our opening here. Oh dear lord, this is awesome. It's so gigantic. That's bad. Ugh. We were mid-animation. I mispressed my fade slash. I wanted to go to the side and instead just did a backslash. Oh, well, that didn't do nearly as much damage as I expected it to do, but that's... I shouldn't say that's okay. Of course that's okay. I want to take less damage. That's gonna suck. Ugh. Just let him... Oop. Alright, evasion mantles off. Oh, that backstep. Just so much distance. Oof. I knew he was doing that, but it was hard to see and I was mid-animation. He's doing it again. Are they gonna help us? Wow. Can't believe that missed. No, I don't want to be on the arm. No one ever wants to be on the arm. Okay. Hey. Ooh, that missed for a moment there. That could have been a waste. Oh wow. Can't believe that still hit. Okay. This is going exceedingly well. Shoot. Double shoot. No! I wanted to get a mount. Yeah, mount, but fortunately, it sucks. Ah, it sucks too. Ah. Really? I feel like he's been doing that little, like, stagger a lot more than he probably should. There we go. That was pretty good. Not too bad. If the next hunt goes that well, then I definitely think we'll have time for the third one. Though we do still have to, after this we'll have to take the special material and go look at what we get. I'm pretty certain I know what we get. And if you watched the developer diary, you probably know what we get from this. But in case you don't, we'll go check it out. I actually really do like this event armor. I don't know if it's my favorite or not. It's pretty good though. Ooh, did we get a gourmet voucher as well? That's kind of nice. Spirited Canteen Ticket. A voucher for a celebratory drink, courtesy of the Meowscular Chef. Redeem it at the smithy and... I should have checked. Were those all well-done steaks? Did I just get just a ridiculous number of well-done steaks? Yep, that was a gold crown. Go figure. Another crown down. Alright, so let's go check and see what we get for that. So it's a weapon, if I'm correct, and it's dual blades. Strong Ale. Oh, I wish I could show them off. How many do we need? Oh, we only need the one ticket, so I could technically make them. But yeah, it gives you mugs of beer that you can attack your enemies with. And the coolest thing is, much like the wetfish sabers, they're layerable, so you can make any of your dual blades look like a bunch of beer. 3 mugs per hand. So that's pretty cool. Oh, I just noticed their status is both paralysis and sleep, though sleep is significantly weaker than the paralysis. But still, that's nice. They're a rarity 10, only have blue sharpness, and very, very high negative affinity. Wow, but 2 level 4 slots, so you could, if you got Expert Decoration Plus, you could get 4 levels of Critical Eye on just the dual blades alone, or even a sleep attack plus and a paralysis attack plus. So that's pretty nice, those decoration slots. I wonder if it has an upgrade, because if it does, that would be good, because blue sharpness is not great at the end of master rank. It does. Okay, so oh well, that doesn't help. It stays at blue. I mean, still, that's fun, but it's unfortunate that it doesn't... The negative affinity stays at negative 15. Your sleep doesn't get very powerful, neither does your paralysis. I'm not sure if 420... Oh, it's because of that. Okay. I don't know if 420 is strong raw for... It looks like it's pretty strong for dual blades, because that's what the Raging Bracky has. So I guess it's pretty good raw, but since dual blades are more about high status, high element, I don't know that that's great. Well, I guess it is. The Raging Bracky dual blades only have 120 blast on them, so I guess these could probably be pretty good, aside from the terrible sharpness. If you can deal with the blue sharpness, these could be fun to play around with. And, you know, as always, everything can be done with pretty much anything as long as it's the same rank. So as long as it's a master rank weapon, you should be able to do anything within master rank. I mean, yeah, it's blue sharpness, but I'm sure people could probably... I think the only thing you wouldn't be able to do with those is beat Alatreon. But even then, you could maybe do it if you're able to get both Feline Safeguard and Feline Insurance, because then you have 5 feints and just don't feint to anything but Eschaton Judgment. Then maybe you can do it, but since they're not element, they won't seal the Eschaton Judgment damage, so it would be rough. But aside from Alatreon and its unique system, I think those should be able to beat anything else in the game. So, I mean, if you want to use them, definitely use them. They could actually be really good, honestly, because if they've got both sleep and paralysis, you might be doing status effects often enough that monsters just you're cutting through them. Blue sharpness is just rough. But at least it has a lot of it, so you don't have to worry about sharpening too much. Alright, so let's change our weapon. We're going to need a water weapon now. Not that it really changes much because the element's so low on these, but still. Oh, right. It's got 200 because of my armor bonus. My Alatreon bonus for increased elemental resistance. That's so funny. I just wanted to hear the roar. Oh, that meal looks so good. It would definitely give me the meat sweats, but still, it looks delicious. Okay.
Hey, you.
So... And sorry, the reason there was a delay there is because I for a moment was like, do I need to read this? And then remembered, no, we already went through all of that. Where's the next one? No, it's not that. Ah, there it is. Don't forget the earplugs. Alright, so the client is... See, I don't know why they keep doing this, but... Afternoon! 'Tis I! An awfully big pilot hair is inside the arena. Looks a bit different from the usual variety, but no mistaking it's a pilot hair with those ears. Oh. Oh. You want to take a look and get some inspiration too? Special material rewards. So this is a Yiangaruga in the arena. Again, I'm pretty certain I know what this is going to give us. And if you've seen the developer diary, you probably know as well. But if you don't, we'll find out as soon as we beat it and go to the smithy. Oh. So where the Tigrex was a giant crown, the Yiangaruga is a tiny crown. That's why he thinks that it's a pilot hair. That's hilarious. It's so cute when it's tiny. It's not much bigger than me. Okay, I guess it's still quite a bit bigger than me, but not by a crazy amount. There's no way it's gonna hit the wall. I was gonna say, with how small it is, that's alright, it'll activate Agitator for me. Oof. That didn't actually hit me. Yay. Oh, it's so cute, but man, I bet it hurts. I always love these quests because they're kind of a thing they've done in Monster Hunter for many, many years. Trying to remember all the ones. The only one I remember for sure, and actually now that I say for sure, I'm actually not completely certain because I can't remember if it was an Uragan or a Steel Uragan, but there was one of the variations of Uragan that was tiny. And it was brutal because even though it was small, the hitboxes still were pretty big. Because even though it was 3rd generation, they hadn't perfected how dramatically changing the size of the monsters affected their hitboxes. So even though it was better than, like, say, Freedom Unite, where tiny iterations of monsters still had just ginormous hitboxes that were terrible and you'd get hit by wind, it wasn't quite as bad as that, but it definitely was not great. And so you'd get hit by just, like, slightly off attacks. But what was really crazy about it is it's just this tiny thing that literally was smaller than your hunter, but if it hit you, you'd just go flying like you were hit by a tank. It was just the funniest thing. It was a ton of fun to do. It wasn't a difficult quest or anything in particular. It just was a lot of fun. And I think there was a variation of that quest in even older... It might have been even in Freedom Unite, or potentially Freedom 2, I guess. I believe it was a Yian Kutku. And unfortunately, if World and Iceborne are your first Monster Hunters, you won't know what a Steel Uragan is or what a Yian Kutku is, but you know what an Uragan is, so you can probably guess what, you know, Steel Uragan is. It's just a subspecies. Instead of fire and sleep, it does poo. And again, if Iceborne and World are your first Monster Hunter, you won't know what the poo status is because it's not in this game. So poo status, what it did is it would prevent you from using healing items until it either wore off or you used a deodorant. It was initially the special status of the Kongalala, and then Uragan, well, Steel Uragan got it as well. But it's not in, that status is not in World and Iceborne. And then a Yian Kutku has been in Monster Hunter since the first iteration. It's not been in every single Monster Hunter game, obviously, because it's not World or Iceborne, but there were some others that wasn't in, primarily 3rd generation. They brought it back for 4th generation. I don't remember if it's in... I think it's in Generations and Generations Ultimate, but I know for a fact it's in 4 Ultimate and 4. But in any case, it was the first, like, wyvern that you would fight in the original Monster Hunter. Before it, you would just fight, like, little drome enemies. So the kind of the monsters that Great Jagras fits the role of. You'd fight the Velocidrome, and I'm trying to think if any of the other dromes were fought in the original Monster Hunter before Yian Kutku, but like you do little gathering quests, and then you kill some Velociprey, and then a Velocidrome. And not long after that, your first actual wyvern that you'd fight would be the Yian Kutku. And it was a giant change. Like, you can kind of brute force your way through the Velociprey and the Velocidrome because they're just not that difficult. And so if you're just like spamming buttons and stuff, you can still kind of beat them. The Yian Kutku was a wake-up call because you couldn't just spam buttons on that thing because it hit a lot harder, and at that point you don't really have any good armor at all. It also would make your weapon bounce on some of its parts, because at that point I think you would be lucky to even have green sharpness. And so that was the first real test for hunters, and the first like wall that people would hit. And then once you beat the Yian Kutku, you kind of were officially a hunter in a lot of people's eyes. Like, okay, you were able to beat Yian Kutku, you're on your way. And nowadays it's kind of like, for me, a Yian Kutku is kind of a joke because I've been playing Monster Hunter for so long. But for new hunters, it really was a good test because it would really teach you a lot of the mechanics, like hitting the right spots, like what I'm not doing right now. And I guess kind of what a Yian Kutku is, that so a lot of people say that the Yian Garuga is clearly the offspring of a Rathian and a Yian Kutku, because it The Yiankaku kind of looks like Yiangruga, but, you know, less fierce. It looks more goofy. But it's got the same beak and the ears. Or actually, instead of ears, it has a frill. But, the Yiangruga has the Rathian's tail. And the Yiankaku's also pink, and then there's a blue variation. But, yeah, if you want to know what a Yiankaku looks like, think of a more dopey-looking Yiangaruga. It's also way less fierce than Yiangaruga. Yiangruga's a dick that is extremely aggressive and will beat you into the ground, whereas a Yiankaku is kind of docile. It'll still hurt you. Like I said, it's when you first run into it in the original Monster Hunter, it can be tough. Even in subsequent Monster Hunters, if you haven't been upgrading your gear and weapons, it can be a good first wall if you don't know what you're doing. But it's, you know, like I said, it's the first wyvern you fight, so it's not meant to be super mega difficult, especially when you figure in, like, Freedom 2, not long after fighting Yiankaku, you're fighting something like the Kezu, which is significantly more difficult. The Yiankaku also doesn't shoot fireballs like the Yiangruga. Like, where Yiangruga has force behind its fireball, the Yiankaku, like, lobs it, and so it's pretty easy to dodge, too, and it's much slower. I feel like the Tigrex had less health than this thing. This thing is, well, I guess you do fight Yiangaruga after the Tigrex in the game, but still, jeez. This thing's, taking a beating. Oh, double roar, huh? It's definitely getting weak, though, because I think I just saw that its ears are down. Now I'm back to purple sharpness, so I'm not going to bounce on stupid parts that I shouldn't be aiming for, but I hit anyway. Yeah, it's one of the things that I've always had a problem with smaller monsters and longsword, is it's really hard because of the wide swings to not accidentally hit spots you shouldn't be. That's one of the reasons I hate fighting Rajang, is because Rajang has a lot of spots that you don't want to attack, like right in front of it or right behind it. But that's where its most, like, tender areas are. So normally I try and, like, angle myself a bit to the side so that if it does attack forward, I have more room to roll and get out of the way. But when the monsters are super, super small, it's really hard to do that. And this tiny little Yiangaruga is kind of in that same boat where it's so small and its wings are a tough spot that if I don't have purple sharpness or mind's eye, I'm going to hit kind of those weaker areas. And even with purple sharpness, I'm not going to bounce, but you still see how grayed out the numbers are. And so you can tell that, you know, you see that the damage is much lower. And I will say, because I know, I brought it up, I don't care that it's controversial, and I don't have a problem leaving the damage numbers up. I actually like them because they help remind me a lot that, hey, you need to be better about your aim. You're hitting a spot that's tough. I'm watching a Let's Play of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite just because it's fun when I'm, like, working and stuff. And looking at how some of the hit indication was before, oh man, I'll take how World and Iceborne do it and the numbers any day now. Because looking at it, there are so many monsters that you had barely had hit detection, because, like, you'd hit and there'd just be like this tiny little spurt of color. And so it was really hard to tell, am I hitting a weak spot, or am I hitting a tough spot, or, like, did I even hit the monster? Like, did it even register? So that's definitely an upgrade, I think. And like I said, I know a lot of people don't like the numbers because they don't think it's Monster Hunter, but I don't think it takes anything away or causes a problem. It just makes it more apparent that you're either hitting a good spot or you're not. And if you turn them off, there's still kind of visual indication, but it I don't know. It's a lot more difficult. And some people like that, and that's fine. For me, the numbers, it's kind of nice to just see, okay, I shouldn't be hitting there. And it teaches me a lot faster and reminds me a lot faster if it's something that I haven't fought in a while, or if I'm just kind of like not paying attention really, which sometimes happens. I'll go on autopilot. But the numbers kind of just remind me, oh, I'm not supposed to attack that spot. I should adjust. Alright, so we got the Pilot Hare ticket. A ticket for those who wish to fulfill their dream of becoming a pilot hare. Redeem it at the smithy, and we got a ton of them. Just like, why 3? I'm not going to complain, but That does not happen to me very often, and I bet we only need one. And it was a mini crown, so another crown down. And yeah, this has not been a very long video, so I do think we're going to get to do that third quest, which might make this a very long video because that next quest could be very, 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 very difficult. Alright, so this should be layered armor. Yep, the hairband. It gives you bunny ears. Or I guess pilot hair ears, which is a bunny. But I showed my fiance and she was like, those don't look like bunny ears to me. So, but yeah, pilot hair ears. So that's cool. Oh, you did need 3 tickets. Well, I'm glad that I got 3 then. Let's just check. I don't think there's an actual armor version. I literally think it's just layered, which is kind of nice because do we really need another piece of armor that we're not going to use? Because, like, I look at the Pearl Spring Alpha and the Duffel Penguin Alpha, and I would... Well, I wouldn't use them because they're goofy looking, but there's tons of people who would like to use these, but they don't want to take the skill hit because, like, Evade Window 2 and a level 4 slot, it's not bad, but it's also not great. And it kind of makes it hard to when you need, like, 4 pieces of an armor set for its set bonus or something like that. So getting these layered would be nice. So getting these all as just layered armor so that if you want to wear them, you can just wear them and not worry about your skill change. I mean, that's nice because they're just goofy things. They're not meant to be, like, meta armor sets or meta armor pieces or anything. Much prefer them as just layered. Though I guess getting them as both things, layered and an actual armor piece, kind of would be the best way to go about it. But then they'd also have to figure out what skills are we going to put it at, what slots, what armor value is it going to have. Whereas if they just make it layered, they're like, you want to have bunny ears? Here you go. Just put them on and keep your normal armor on. So now, the horrifying thing that is the next quest we have to do. I figured I'd get to do it in this video, but that doesn't mean I'm really prepared to do it. I'm not looking forward to this. This is a monster that I've only fought once in this game because I have nightmares of fighting it in previous iterations of Monster Hunter. I think I fought it the most in Freedom Unite. I hated fighting it in 4 Ultimate because Apex monsters, I think, are the dumbest endgame mechanic that any Monster Hunter's had. So I just kind of... I stopped playing when I had to deal with Apex stuff. Like, I finished up the story, and I did a bunch of the stuff in the guild hall, and I got through most everything in the game, to the point that I was just doing 140 guild quests, and that was about all that was left for me to do in the game. And since everyone just fought this monster, I was like, okay, I think I'm done, because it's not fun. So hopefully, I know we fought it before, and we're gonna do it again. This time for a event quest, and hopefully this isn't just the worst thing ever for me. So the event quest is Monkey Business. It is against a Furious Rajang in the Hoarfrost Reach. Heyo, it's me. I just spotted a gigantic Gold Spring Macau. That's a lie. That is just a straight lie. No, seriously. The way it roars into the sky in that electric golden fur, there's no mistaking it. It's going to be my source of inspiration. Oh, I don't like this guy. Why would you ever say in any way that, or even think, or try and trick someone into thinking that this is in some way a Gold Spring Macau? Like, come on. They don't roar. Okay. So, Furious Rajang. This is... I think he's not my least favorite monster because he is cool, but he's one of my least favorite to fight because I'm terrible at fighting him, and much like I mentioned earlier, the best spots to attack him are, well, this one, the old ones, the back was a good spot too, but this one basically is just the face, and almost every one of his attacks is straight ahead of him. So if you want to, oh wait, no, I'm so glad I remember this. But yeah, if the best way to attack him is from the front, because that's where his weak spot is, and like all the other spots are crud damage, but in front of him you just get slaughtered because that's where almost all of his attacks come out. And then his other kind of weak point is behind him, And the problem with that is that he'll do that stupid back hop. So I think we're going to drop a level of Challenger here for Mind's Eye. And the reason for that is because when he toughens up his arms, I do not want to be bouncing because it's just basically an instant feint. So yeah, we'll only have Agitator level 4. You know, we lose 3% affinity when he's enraged and 4 raw, but I don't care. I'd rather lose a little bit of damage and not have to worry about bouncing. We're also going to need... probably want my dung pods. We're gonna need hot drinks, so I need to drop something. Oh, we don't need. We're not gonna get poisoned, so we don't need that. So hot drinks. And what's on my? I don't need a hard geology jewel. What's our fear at? I think our fear is only at what, like 3? Yeah, let's see if we've got another Fuhrer level 4 decoration we can throw on here and get Fuhrer maxed out. The reason I'm doing that over Agitator is because Fuhrer will be active constantly because of our Safi Jiva set bonus, whereas Agitator's only active when he's enraged. So we'll probably get more use out of Fuhrer, or Resentment, I guess is what it's called. Fuhrer is the decoration name. I just have to find Resentment. There it is. Is this on the armor I'm wearing? Shoot. Maybe Fear Protection could be useful. Get a level of Divine Blessing. We don't need Vitality. 1 level of Medicine or of Recovery up's not going to be super helpful, neither Constitution. But Divine Blessing could always be useful. Yeah, why not? We'll go with that. So we'll get level 4 Resentment. Wish I had another level 4 Fear Jewel. A little sad that I don't, honestly. Okay. Alright. So that'll give us Divine Protection level 1 as well, or Divine Blessing. Oh, I didn't know that... Oh, that could be cool too. I'll have to figure out which armor gives Divine Blessing secret. Level 5 is the only time that Divine Blessing will activate more frequently. I think on the base skill level, so level 1 through level 4, I think it only has a 25% chance of activating. I wonder what level 5 gives. Does it jump it to 50 or does it only jump it a little bit? That could be really OP if 50% of the hits you take are only 40% of the damage. That could be really good. I'll have to look into that. Okay, now I think we're ready. That took so long to prepare. I probably didn't have time to do this because I know this thing takes me forever to beat. Oh, come on, really? Oh. No, that's just bad. That's just mean. Why you do this? Why? Can't fast travel. You stupid. Can't fast travel away because he's enraged immediately. And he's literally enraged. He's already in agitated state. Oh, you dickbag. Okay, we're almost finished buffing. Now we can actually fight him. Let's go for it. I really hate fighting this thing. Because it just leaves so few openings. Like, people's biggest complaint with Rajang in World is that he already, in previous iterations, left very few openings. But the reason people didn't mind fighting him is because his openings that he did leave were very big. And then in World and Iceborne, they were just like, hey, we're going to make his openings super short. So, like, he has them, but they suck. I know it's on the rampage. You don't have to tell me. Okay, I'm going to throw on Temporal because he's in the worst possible method we could deal with, which is... Come on. Do some attacks I can actually counter. He's just attacking poor Shadow. See, like, look at this. He's leaving no openings. Oh my god, look how little damage that does when you hit his stupid buff arms.
Proceed with caution.
I know to aim for his head, but he doesn't leave his head open. And is protected by his super buff arms. Oh, how did that miss? That wasn't even hitting his head. I can't believe that wasn't a foresight. There's some openings. Oh god. No! You dickbag! What? That stupid winged wyvern dumb thing actually almost got me fainted. Because it decided, at this moment I will stagger you. Yes! Okay, that wasn't bad. We got him out of rampage mode. Unfortunately, knocking him against a wall is super difficult because he doesn't leave any openings. Oh, I tried to foresight it and I screwed up. I'm the worst. That's not what I wanted to do. Ugh. Yeah, you're a dick. I get it. Now, eat some of my weapon in your face. Dang it. I keep foresighting late. Ah, that move sucks because I'm ready for it, but I don't quite know the range yet, so it generally will hit me. No. Why are these stupid winged wyverns even attacking me? Like, there's a Rajang here. Not just any, a furious one. I'm still not used to its moves because I don't fight it very often. Dang it. Because I just don't like it. You're going to leave me just like one little opening. There it is. Oh, I don't have any slinger ammo. Well, that was poopy of me. At least I'm okay at dodging. I'm not the worst at this game. I'm just not the best. Oh, come on. Ooh. I got lucky there. Shoot. Okay. Oh, got our nice agitator boost. Yeah, Shadow, you tank him. Ugh! Didn't think that would knock me down. I feel like we're gonna burn through a lot of potions here. I need to be more careful with my health. Oh no! This might be a straight feint. Oh, I guess not. How did you miss? Well, now you hit me. You, sir, are a straight dick. I don't like it. You... Wait, what? What even did that? Oh god! What is happening right now? Why? Oh, I've never... So, I know that normal Rajang, you can stagger it into the wall and it'll grab the wall and then jump at you. I've never done that with Furious, so I didn't know that it would just, like, grab onto the wall and then shoot a mega laser beam at your face. It is great. Also horrifying. I love it. Like I said, I don't think this monster's a bad monster. I'm just bad at fighting it, and so I don't enjoy fighting it normally, but I'm actually having fun at the moment. It's a good time. You, sir, are a dick for immediately doing that. Oh, I broke apart and knocked him down. Yeah, take my hits in your face. I know a lot of people don't like the new iteration of Rajang, but for whatever reason, I have an easier time. And maybe it's just because I get to use a controller instead of holding a tiny little handheld in my hands. Maybe that's what it is. But I actually like the World and Iceborne iteration of Rajang better. I feel like I hunt it a lot better than I did in previous iterations of the game. Well, of Monster Hunter, not of this game. Obviously, this is the only iteration of this game, but still. My point is just that, like, for whatever reason, I have an easier time with this guy. And the weird thing is, I'm pretty certain that the world in Iceborne Rajang has more health than he used to. Because the big reason everyone... Like, there's a couple of reasons why people thought Rajang was fair and didn't mind fighting him. One, aside from his Apex version, most of his body was a weak point. Like, he took high damage from pretty much everywhere. And then two, he didn't have a ton of health, so the fights didn't last very long. So yeah, he could hit hard and really punish you, but at the same time,